Fellow Nigerians, the Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo, both home and abroad, especially the youths, remember that we still stand on one Nigeria. For the unity of our great beloved country, Nigeria, is not negotiable. And to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done.
Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria! Nigeria no go scatter, your national policeman says so. Carry go!
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter.
And do you hear what the man say?
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter. Now listen. Our great leaders making Miami well. No united we stand behind every reform. There should be no more corruption, insecurity, unemployment, power failure, religious crisis, terrorism, tribalism, favoritism in our country.
All we need is love.
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter. And you hear what the man say? Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter.
Listen, go!
All the terrorists making Miami well. No united we stand behind our country, Nigeria. You know go scatter, stop killing, innocent people, stop bombing. Churches are mosques, schools are order. Because Almighty God called them killing. This is my advice to the terrorists.
Everybody down to change you. Change from the bad to good. Nigeria no change.
We gotta sing it together.
Change you. Everybody down to change you. Change from the bad to good. Nigeria no change. Change. Well, fellow Nigeria, no listen me proper. No, I fellow Nigeria, no listen me proper. We want to congratulate our leaders, our new leaders for their victory. We believe, listen, we are going out for the change. You wanna go with me? No, no more. For the vote when you can't stay in the country change. That is why you are for the voting. I tell you no. Oh, boy.
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter.
And do you hear what the man say?
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter.
Come follow me, sing, come follow me, don't.
Change unto the terrorist. Change unto the kidnapper. Change unto the armed robber. Change unto the bad leaders with the scatter Nigeria.
You need.
All we need is love.
This is a Muslim we love one another. Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, love one another. North, South, West, we love one another.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Come follow me, sing, come follow me, don't.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Grow the people. You're reaching the police, but they party and along my side. I can see for the peace, so respect life.
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want.
Yes, it's a very good evening from London. My name is Daddy KRIS, and this is supposed to be a very special broadcast on Nigerian Independence Day. And Nigeria is 63 years old, meaning we got independence 63 years ago. And tonight, I just want us to look at where we're coming from, where we are, and where we're going. Very important. Where is Nigeria coming from? Where are we? And where are we going? It's happy. Let me start. That's why I played that beautiful track. It's a solidarity song telling you Nigeria must unite. There are things killing us as a nation. We need to identify them and we need to bury them. And so I'm going to start by saying a very, very happy Independence Day to you all at home. And wherever you are, I know many people are going to a nightclub tonight to celebrate it in London and around the world. It's a beautiful thing. You see, there's something I do know, whether we like it or not, there's something we love. It's assumed we all love the country called Nigeria. We may not like the way it is being governed. We may not like the people we are associated with, but we love Nigeria. And if that is the case, I want us to carefully look at some of these things together tonight. In last year, on this same broadcast, which I shared today, I asked a question, and I want to ask Nigerians again today. My question is this: do you sincerely believe, it's a simple question, that Buhari knew what to do and he refused to do it? Or he did his best and his best was not enough? Question. And I'm going to ask the same question. Do you think Tinubu knows what to do and he didn't want to do it? Or he's too early to be judged? Or he simply doesn't have a clue? And I'm going to bring that to the individual states for those of us, because I have a show coming up which is called The State, and I want to ask your state governors, do they know what they're doing? Or they simply don't know what, they don't want to do it? Are they really that wicked? You see, sincerely, I look at Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck he might not be good, he might not be able to manage the country, but Goodluck had good intentions. I look at Buhari had good intention. Now, maybe to the obedient guys, you guys will not like me. I look at Tinubu right now. The man wants to succeed. He wants to make an impact. So something is wrong. Listen, let's be sincere. It's the most difficult question you ask yourself on Independence Day. Do they know what to do, or they simply don't want to do it? That's the question of the evening. And I'm going to be here for just 30 minutes to talk about this because I'm not feeling very strong. So I'm just going to do that and walk away. But the question I ask tonight is a simple one. Does our leaders, do they know what to do and they simply refuse to do it, or the task is just too much? I sincerely believe that the task is too much. You need more than an ordinary person to run the affairs of Nigeria. So that is the only thing I can take. Because Chinua Achebe in those days also wrote that the problem of Africa, Nigeria in particular, is leadership. Then when we look at leadership, that's what I want to look at as we go into the country. But I'm going to talk about so many things tonight before I do that. So many things are wrong with this baby called Nigeria. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm writing a book. It's actually a script which I thought I should make into a movie. It's called The Diary of a Nigerian Virgin. Now, in this story, I put two people fighting. All right? Two people fighting, and the baby is crying. That baby is who? That baby is Nigeria. So I'm trying to present the North and the South. As if people are fighting, breaking your head, there's somebody suffering. That person is Nigeria. The day Muslims and Christians are fighting, what is happening? Somebody is dying. Nigeria is dying. You see, when you begin to rape the country, when you rape the child, the little girl with somebody, the encounter she's going to go through the movie, somebody is suffering, Nigeria is dying. You're raping Nigeria. And I want us to be really careful what we do to Nigeria. You see, it's not about the northern man. The Nigeria belongs to you and me. It's the only country we have. And the question is, have we been fed to the country called Nigeria? I don't know about the Hausa man. I don't want to ask about the Yoruba man. I don't want to ask the Igbo man. But let's talk about the brother, your daughter called Nigeria. Have you been fed to Nigeria? That is the big question of today. When I begin to look at the problem of Nigeria, I'm going to look at it from I don't think I have time to look at all tonight. So I'm going to do a free fall. That's why I said let me be here to do some kind of free fall. Just like freestyle. I don't call this freestyling. I don't really do this. But this is Independence Day. So it's a very important broadcast. If somebody asks you, what is the problem of Nigeria? I've been so angry with myself that I attribute the problem of Nigeria to two things only. I said there's no rule of law in Nigeria. Because democracy is synonymous with rule of law. So when they say we want to practice democracy or any good governance, the meaning, it doesn't mean the word democracy. I don't know what democracy means. It means different things to different people. But the word governance, good governance we're yearning for, the element, the things that make it meaningful is when there's rule of law. Because when there's no rule of law, there's anarchy. That's what we have in Nigeria today. People are afraid to move from one place to the other because they are bandits on the road, or policemen are not friendly, or something is wrong. You are afraid to sleep. And some of us are afraid to even go home because they tell you, that place is not safe. Imagine, security is one of the major problems we face in Nigeria. Is that all? Now, something I observe, I also observe is the question I love to, that's my own take. Security, rule of law is not there. I'm going to come to the trivial ones, which is called the education. I think somebody wrote a book, called the education, the miseducation of the Negro, the miseducation of Nigeria. In fact, what the colonial master left us with is what we're carrying. See, they created something called Nigeria, which is a beautiful baby. They gave us a way to run it, which is the so-called system of governance. In fact, we've changed it. When they left us with 3 countries. Let me put it, a true federation. Now we forged it into a unity state. This is not the fault of it's not the fault of the Europeans. It's not the British that created this Nigeria we have now. The Nigeria the British left was a Nigeria that's of true federalism. We have we have the northern region, the western region, and the eastern region. Very functional, effective, and they were doing all the good things for the country. It was one of us, Agoni Rossi, that forged it and make it a unity state. That's what we're going through now. So let's not get it wrong. So we want to blame the British. We're going to blame them. They have their own blame. But I want to know, why are we having the problem we're having today? I've interviewed a lot of people on this program. One of the things they tell me is the structure of the Nigerian state, which is true. But who forced it on us? How do we revive that? Today is a day to think. You see, when I talk, I don't always think about us, because most of us were gone. We're looking at the future generation, the young people coming. What a greedy generation we are. Our father didn't behave like this towards us. I remember my father was dying. He refused to sell some of his property because he was always saying, what is he going to leave for his children? I said, man, use your things. He said, no, these are things for his children. That is a father. But we of this generation, we eat everything. We eat even the children drink for us. We swallow all. We want to take all to heaven. Thank God we all die. Anyway, number 2 problem I understand in Nigeria. I don't want to go into the education yet. So I said number 1, there's no rule of law in the country. And then number 2 is the issue of slave trade. And I said in my last broadcast that if you tell me to come and be the president of Nigeria, you guys will not be able to stand me. Because the only one thing I will do will change the whole of that, will change the narrative of Nigeria. 1. And it has nothing to do with who become president, who is not. You will not like it. I probably will not like it. But I will do one thing. I will eliminate slave trade from Nigeria. You hear me? I said there will be no more slave trade if I become the president of Nigeria. And I need to explain that. I've never blamed anybody. I don't forget, I come on the show and I said, the problem of Nigeria is not Buhari. Believe me. The problem of Nigeria is not Goodluck Jonathan. And I can tell you, it's actually not Tinubu. The problem of Nigeria is lack of understanding of the modern civilization, which is the rule of law. That we should all be accountable to the law. That nobody should be above the law. Not you, not me should be above the law. If that is the case, nobody will carry our money and run away. Because you will be arrested. I talked about it the last time, that it's only in Nigeria where you see a policeman, about 10 policemen guiding one fool. They call him a senator or call him whatever. Please, I beg, Muna come to the civilized world. In the United Kingdom, even the Prime Minister does not have up to 2 policemen, only 2. Our Prime Minister, he's more important, he's more powerful. If he say you run, you run. They colonized us for years. Like I said, I don't know who on earth has about 3 British policemen following him. To do what? Guiding him to do what? You see the problem we have. Yeah, look at how many policemen God follows your senator. Look at how many follow even your foolish local government chairman, even when we know they are village fools. Once you give them this office, you give them all these big things, which is practically nothing. The policemen in the country are meant to maintain law and order, not to guide individuals. That becomes the order of the day. I can see even our musicians, they are not taking advantage of it. I saw a musician working the other day and he has so many policemen guiding him. Not even security. At least they are security men. They should be creating jobs. Let them be private security forces. I don't mind. But the Nigerian police, reduced to your slaves. That's what I'm going to talk about the next issue. Nigerian problem. The slave trade. Now, I don't know about you, man. And I'm confused. Sometimes I talk to people in the diaspora, and I think you guys should help me out here. The only good thing that is in UK, that is not in Nigeria, let me repeat it. The only thing that is in UK today that is not in Nigeria is there's no slave trade in UK. Now, they took us as slaves. Now they've left us. Now we are enslaving ourselves. British people won't do it to you even if you are here now. They have that conscience not to treat you as a slave. Now, who is a slave? A slave is somebody you give a job and you don't pay him the right money. I always give you this simple analysis, Nigerians. That when the white people came, they took us as slaves, yes. What did they do? The only reason we say they took us as slaves is because they were not paying us the right money. They paid us a very stupid amount of money. In fact, they were not paying us. We were their properties. Had they now say, oh, you come and work with us, and this is your pay, we would have called it slavery, slave trade. So the only reason it was called slave trade is we were not paid the money we were due. They were feeding us. So now, my people, what's the difference between now that the Nigerian state gives you a job and it gives you an amount of money that is only for feeding? It's not even enough to feed you. It's not the same thing as those slave traders giving us food and making us to work for them for nothing. That is the system of the Nigerian state. It's only in Nigeria, my people, that you have somebody with a personal driver. You, this foolish person, you as you foolish rich, you go buy motor. Now somebody will drive you. You're a foolish man. I've been in the Europe for years. I've not met somebody who have a driver. I bet Mona quote me anytime, anywhere. Nobody with a driver. It's not because we don't want to, but because we cannot afford it. I've never seen somebody that have a gate man. Your job not to open gate for you, Abi. A whole man, his job not to open your gate, and the foolish man is happy, and you are a slave trader. Not because we don't want to have somebody to open our gate, but because we cannot afford it. You see, when you go to a filling station here, you come down, you put fuel, you come and fuel your car, your fuel, and you go and pay. Nobody's going to be there to be your fuel attendant. These are stupid jobs that should be taken out of the scene. You know why it is happening? This is what I call slave trade. We are still practicing slave trade in Nigeria. Nigeria is 63 years old today. And I ask this question. Is our leader guilty? Is Buhari responsible for this slave trade? Because it's you and I practicing slave trade. Has nothing to do with Buhari. I hear the labor union trying to say they want to go on strike. Fine. But the core of our problem is 2 things. No law. Somebody is above the law in Nigeria. As 63 is getting worse. Now, you think you are enjoying. Now, the problem has happened. Everybody's in trouble. Because the kidnappers, if they get your daughter or your son, Before they will release them, you will know. In fact, you guys, the senators, are more afraid now because your children are abroad. How long? Does it really make any sense that you build your beautiful house and you now mount a fence that is so high to protect yourself? I've never seen that kind of building in Europe. Protecting yourself against who? That's what in Nigeria, you see the old stupid fence you build? Because we are afraid now. There's a popular saying in Warri that the poor people cannot sleep because they are hungry. The rich man cannot sleep either because they know that the poor man is out there hungry. My people, it was the rich people in Europe that introduced the welfare package. In London today, if you're not working, they give you some money to feed as an unemployed person. The reason they do that, not because they love you, because they know that if you don't have anything to eat, their security is at stake. A hungry man is an angry man. This has nothing to do with one government. This has nothing to do with Tinubu. This got nothing to do with Buhari. This got something to do with the structure of the Nigerian state. Nigerians, it's a very important day, and I bring this message to you. Let me tell you how paying people well, and perhaps Labour is about to go on strike at the moment. And I said they always miss it. I don't hear, what I want to hear from Labour is not what they're saying. They only keep talking about, well, they want to be some palliative, no rubbish. We don't want palliatives. You do one thing. Let me prove one thing to you, Nigerians, that if you tell me Nigeria is poor, you are sick. Nigeria is still very rich as we are today. Let me repeat that. Nigeria is very rich as we speak now. The truth is, 3 people are richer than the Nigerian state at the moment. Let me repeat that. Only 1% of Nigerians can, only 3 Nigerians can pay Nigerian debt. They won't even know. It's only in Nigeria you see a number of people using private jets in numbers. They all know what I'm talking about. Even stupid musicians are not buying private jets. I don't know how many private jets Michael Jackson had before he died. That is, the structure of the state is wrong. And you know why? I know everybody will be angry with me tonight. Because I'm not talking to government, I'm talking to you and I. Forget about the government. The structure of the state is not going to work. No matter who becomes Nigerian president, our story will remain the same. Because our true problem is the structure. Not when I say structure, the tax system. You see, in a civilized world, the rich give a little bit more. And the poor, if you don't have, they will give you something to eat so that there will be peace in the land. They don't encourage you to sit down not working, because if you don't work, at the point in time, they will stop giving to you and they push you to go and work. But for anarchy to be less, they know how to maintain that. Condition the poor man to go and look for a job. They will do something. The case of Nigeria is not that even we don't want to work. The work is not there. That is not true anyway. We'll come to that as we go on this show. But let's look at this first. I want to prove something to you, Nigerians. I said the money, we have enough money in Nigeria as we speak. We should not even be borrowing money because very few people have enough. It's just that the money is in the hands of the few. The population are dying. Few. If you are in government, you are fine. If you are outside government, you are dead. If you are in good business, you are fine. If you are outside that, you are dead. A wise government do something. They take from the rich and they settle the poor. They don't pay that big amount of money. Like you see your stupid governor. You know how much they get. Look at me, I don't give a damn. I don't get YBS. I mean, they go 9 years. Your stupid governor security vote alone is enough to change your life. The security vote they pay to governors. They say if we put all the security votes, even in this difficult time when we say we don't have money, it's enough to do a lot of things. No, they need security vote to do what? What about those without security vote that are on the street? They should die. You see, the Bible said, That's why I go any church. If you say I be Gentile, they carry my back and they leave that church because God never created me a Gentile. We're all born equal. That's what the Americans say. If that is true, that's what they say when they declare the independent. That everybody is, God created every man equal. You're not better than the next person because you're able to steal the country money and now the money is in your position. Doesn't make you better. You then go shit. You be idiot like every other person. You go die soon. So you're not better than me. You're not better than this person, but the person is your slave. And when I say he's your slave, because the government refused to teach you the right way to behave in a society. You earn so much money, you don't have lots of drivers. Let me prove how we can actually solve this problem of too many drivers, too many gate men. You see how many people in Nigeria they have. In fact, I was in Festac. I saw this mansion. In fact, there are many. You go to Festac today. I'm just giving an instance. There's no place in Nigeria where you don't see those kind of buildings. When you have these big mansions, nobody's living there even. The mansions, some of them have up to 20-something bedrooms. It's a village. If they tell you people living there, they're not up to 2, 3. They drive in Kuzi out. That's not the only building he has. He has about 50, 70 of them. Probably they even rent them out because they don't need a bloody rent. So the man keeps keeping all that money. Or is wasting. You know what government will call you? Government will tell you that is a waste. Let me call it. It's your money, but if you use our country money and use it to build a property that is not put to use, it's a waste and government should take action on that. Let me tell you how you do this. Supposing the law doesn't encourage you to be that rich. And how do you do that? You don't force people. If they can work hard, they can be rich. But this is what you do. You come back to one thing, no slave trade. I didn't say pay more tax. No, I'm not even going to come there. Now, you that have these 24 bedrooms, listen, I live in London here now. My room, I can't even clean my own room. I'm a very dirty person. I can't clean my room. So to clean my studio alone is a problem. So if I have 10 of it, meaning I have to clean 10 myself because I cannot afford a cleaner. A cleaner, you know how much a cleaner earns in London? £1,500 minimum. It's almost 2 million naira today per month. So I'm gonna get a cleaner. No. Now, you see, this is the trick. So if you are rich in Nigeria and the salary of an average cleaner is 500,000, my guy, you don't go build more than one house, abandon them. Or even if you can build it, you will rent it out. It will not be abandoned property wasted in Festac as you see today. Because I'm talking of cleaner now. What about the person to clean the gardens? The whole compound will become like a bush. You know, if you don't clear a place, in a few days, especially in Nigeria, where it's rainforest, you know, the grass, they grow fast. Few days then, it will turn to bush. The only reason because you have a slave as a gardener. You don't pay him well now. How much you pay how much you pay the gardener, sir? Your gardener, how much you pay them? You see, by the time the government is able to say every gardener earns 500,000, and you know that you need about 10, 20 people or 5 people to clean that big village. Okay, you will consider that. Okay, also cleaning first. Maybe you need about 5 cleaners. 5 times 500, that's 2.5 million. Ole gardener, 5, I'm using on the average, that's 5 million naira already. Overhead. I'm coming. Okay, I'm sure you don't need a gate man because if the average, I'm not saying you cannot have a gate man or you can have a gate man, no problem at all. But the salary of a gate man is 500,000. You know what will happen? You will not have a gate man because his salary is 500,000. I'm telling to you, I'm the government of the country. If you cannot pay him, don't hire him. Just leave him. I will give him food to eat. That's what I will do. I will not allow you to treat them as slaves. You don't have to hire them. But if you hire them, that's the amount. A reasonable government will control how much you pay the citizens of the country. And that alone checks. And you see what I'm saying? You see, people are not behaving. Let me tell you this way. You know how many people, like Oga Tinubu now, I know the number of cars is copper will reach 50. Small. You'll be dashing them out. What do you do with 50 cars? Now, this is what I do. If you have 50 cars, not my problem. I don't have a problem with those cars. But you know what? The salary of a driver is 1 million naira. If you want to employ a driver per month, it's 1 million naira per month. If you cannot afford him, don't hire him. So you will find out that you will not hire more than one driver if you are very rich. So now this one now, you have about 20 drivers. Their salary are 40,000 naira. When you put that together, I never even touch you. But by the time you hire 40 drivers for 40 million, okay, you know we'll get more than one driver. In other words, you don't need more than a car. In UK here, know that we don't want to buy better car. Car is cheaper here. But who are you to have more than a car? Who want driver? There should be dignity in labor. And what I have said, what I proved to Nigeria today is that only implementing a decent minimum wage, you checkmate the rich and the poor. You just maintain things that can be done and things that should not be done in your society. People do certain things. You think we don't want to have drivers? If we have the pleasure of, if all those people that just come from Nigeria now, they would like to do driver job. Ask them whether they give the driver job here. If you want to do driver job, you go and do Uber or Bolt. That's the only job for driver. We don't recognize slave trade in UK. So it is not a waste. It's not a problem, government, to actually say the minimum wage in Nigeria should be minimum 300,000 is even an insult. It should be 500,000. If you do that, you have saved a lot of things. These people with a lot of money, like I said before, there's enough money in Nigeria. Let them employ more drivers. We don't mind. Let them buy 50 cars. But you know what? They will pay those drivers 1 million naira each. If they don't pay the driver, they go to jail. Rule of law. Only those two things Nigeria will set up. So when we talk of leadership, the leadership of Nigeria don't need to come and fight you. They just need to make the right laws and everything will fall in place. But who are those people to make the laws now? Is it the senator that have how many policemen? Is it the people, the member of the House of Reps that have how many policemen? What are you doing with policemen? To do what? A Nigerian police uniform, wearing the uniform of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He lives with you. He's your slave. You know how much a British police earn? £2,800 minimum. So if you want to have a Nigerian police, pay him £2,000, which is about 2 million naira. No problem. If you want police to guide you, no problem. Pay us our 2 million. Okay, when you get 1, 2, things go begin level. You see what I've just been saying? I'm only trying to say, Nigerian, that we can, with wisdom, settle the problem of Nigeria by introducing a decent wage. You don't pay. You see what I've said now? I've not insulted anybody. I've not fight anybody. I always say that man's salary is this amount. If you cannot pay him, don't worry, I'll pay him. Don't hire him. But if you must hire him, that is his money. Because it's a country that belongs to me and you. The country belongs to us. Let me tell you one thing, Mr. President. The Nigerian naira that man is carrying, that property belongs to Nigeria. Controlled by you. Because you've worked, you've earned it, and it's there. You earn it. So it is not owned by you. Everything in Nigeria belongs to Nigeria. It might be controlled by you, but owned by you, but it is actually owned by Nigeria. So you cannot tell Nigeria what to do with it. We will tell you how to own the Nigerian property. Because I'm the landlord. The landlord only gives you key to use the thing for some time. And it is always with a condition. I only introduced 2 things today, Nigerians. I said with a decent wage, the gap between the rich and the poor can be settled without any quarrel. There will be no more slave trade. Now, to help you do that, okay, introduce something I call rule of law. Nobody should be above the law. If the law says this, let it be so to the letter. If they say don't look this side, I look at my 50,000 naira pound, I pay. Independent of who you are, it doesn't care. The law does not respect you. You respect the law, and then the law will respect you. Well, I didn't come to do a long show tonight. I only come to say what is in my mind. And it hurts that Nigeria is 63 years old. And the only two things I identify to be Nigerian problem. Say, sometimes when people talk, they say, what's the problem of Nigeria? I say, leaders. Our leaders are bad. Our leaders are bad. And I just laugh. My question to you tonight is, what can a leader do in this situation? I only ask the litmus test, and I say it to Nigerians. Everybody here, do you think sincerely Goodluck Jonathan knew what to do and he didn't do it? Is he that wicked? Look at Goodluck. Is he that wicked? Or you think Buhari knew what to do? Buhari did try at a point in time. He want to run. He was tired of the job. The Baba want to run. You see this one when he continue. Tinubu, now this one will kill you if you not take time. It's a bad job. I will never be president of Nigeria as it is. Never. Because the ingredients of a state are all lacking. There is slave trade in the land. The money of Nigeria is in the hands of you. The money doesn't even belong to those people. Like I said before, you don't own Nigerian money. The money is Nigeria. See that money? It's written Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's not yours. We will tell you how to use it. You cannot enslave Nigerians with our own property. I'm saying is you have right to work hard and earn. And if you earn, that's fine. But I have the right to tell you this is the salary an average Nigerian should earn. To even the country, there's enough money in the country, even as we cry now. This whole dollar crisis they are talking about, this whole thing is rubbish. Nigeria will have enough money. The truth is the money is in the hands of you. The reason I know is count how many people with private jets in Nigeria. No verse for me, I beg. This is serious. How many people do you know have private jets? If, like I said, even cheap musicians of yesterday, they don't get private jets. Because I can tell you those musicians, they don't even pay tax. They don't know what is tax. In Europe here, they pay. Before that money becomes clean money to give to you, you would have paid, you know. But when you reach Nigeria, it's all free money. Nobody knows whether you even earn it. No single rule on taxation. If not the oil we have, how would the government even be making money? All I'm saying is, it can be done intelligently by not fighting anybody, by just saying that this is the minimum wage. You, thank God the price of fuel has gone up. I feel no pity. I don't feel sorry for any Nigerians. I'm sorry. You want to drive car to do guy, go and pay the fuel price. If not, you don't need the fuel, take public transport. The government should have provided a little means of transportation. In the UK here, it's even better for me. I live in London. I don't drive now. I jump on the bus to where I'm going and I come back with it. I'm cool. Most of your leaders, when they come here, they jump on the same train with us. Why? Because it's comfortable to take you to where you're going. It's even faster. My car will take me longer. When I drive now, before I get to Central London and come back, I will pay congestion charge, pay a lot of charges. Have you heard of it? Congestion charge to drive into the city and come back is £15 a day. I'm not talking just to drive in and out. You don't want that hassle. To park your car alone is the biggest trouble you can ever get. If you don't take that, so because of that, you don't need to drive. We are happy, we are comfortable taking transport there. If you want to drive, you can, but you will have to pay. So if you're rich and you want to pay, you're more than welcome. If you're rich and you need a driver in London, you will get a driver. I'm not saying it is against the law to have a personal driver. You will have a driver. But we don't do it because you can't afford it. Because of one thing, the minimum wage. Minimum wage you're talking about now for low people. A driver is a skilled worker who will spend a lot of money to get his driver's license and keep it clean. He has a reputation. When he drives you, no, you only call him for boat. That man earns a day. A driver in Nigeria, in the UK, earns £150 minimum if he goes on his boat. If he goes on a boat, in few hours, he don't make 200 pounds. So 200 times 30 days is how much? We're talking about 6,000 pounds. So if you want to hire him, you have to talk to him with respect. You know, it's not going to do your job for 2,500 pounds. But say government say, okay, if you want to hire him because you want to settle, you don't want to stress, maybe you settle down for £2,500 a driver in the UK, and that is for 8 hours. So after 8 hours, the man they go home. Not that one when they go sleep with you for your house, like your slave. Boy. See, so many habits, so many practices had to stop. In fact, the British, when they came to Nigeria, they used us as drivers. They were the one that taught us all this rubbish. They called themselves expatriates. Fools that were village fools here will come to Europe, will come to Africa, and they become experts. But here, it's a nobody. Because even their MP here, they don't have drivers, they don't have policemen following them. It's only in Nigeria you see, like I said, village fools get policemen where they guide them. It's wrong. This is the problem we have. And you may not wonder where is that KRIS talking about. It takes a lot to have the intellectual to understand what I'm talking about tonight. That is the problem of the Nigerian state. Nigeria was 63 years old. Our problem is not the president. Our problem is the structure of the state. We need to take away slave trade from Nigeria because there's money in the country. Of course, the people who would have helped us to do it, they are the slave traders. Like I said, if a senator is happy to go home with how much? Their salary, you know now, by 100 million a month. If you say no, it's with your allowance, think how much they take home in a month. Make an output. I know that our security vote, governor security vote, is minimum of 1.5 billion naira. What is this securing? It doesn't have policemen. It doesn't pay policemen. Police is a federal thing. What is the state governors? What are they securing that they have that amount of security vote? Look at me, you push man. And now you're telling me that the Nigerian state is broke. Nigeria is not broke. If you see the number of people flying private jets here and there, you say Nigeria is broke. Nigeria is not broke. We are not broke. We have money. The money is in the hands of fools. They need to be taught a lesson, and in a very intelligent way. Like I said, you are free to have 50 cars, so your cars can stay with you. But if you need somebody, a citizen of Nigeria, to drive it, his salary na 2 million. Okay? If you not pay, leave on bed. Drive yourself. You need gate man. God, no problem. Nah. The gate man salary na 1 million. You need cleaner. Cleaner na 500,000 minimum. No bad, no best. We all sit up. You see, the policeman, the Nigerian policeman, you know how much? Minimum of, in fact, about 3 million naira you could pay Nigerian policeman. So if you want me to guide you, I beg we go do about 3 million. You see, in the UK, I say it again, do you see anybody that with a British policeman guiding him? Who are you? But look at our Nigerian police. You are watching me tonight, you fools. Carry gun, ask the man if you are his slave or not. Now they take risk. You know why I'm saying what I'm saying? It's biblical. For evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing nothing. Let me repeat that. For evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing what? Nothing. I am not afraid. In fact, when they talk now, it's only how somebody going to win election and share the money. It's only those that win now, they have the money in their hand, they are flying everywhere. At what cost? They cannot do the same thing they are doing now here. The moment they come down in England, they behave. If you don't behave, now prison you go end up. See your Koromadu. He's going to serve the time. There's a country where there's rule of law. Nobody is above the law. You saw how we did to our own Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, had to resign. For what did the man do? They said the man celebrated during COVID. So what? He has to resign. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is rule of law. Nobody is above the law. If we can bring that one in the head of Nigerians, if we all can, if we do it, it's good for me and you. It's not for the poor man alone, it's for everybody. It's good for every one of us. But if we don't do it, this is what we get, this is what we find ourselves. Look at me and you now. You want to have 50 houses. Now you can't even stay in those 50 houses because you don't have peace. The policeman guiding you can shoot you one day now and say, na straight bullet. What's going to happen? Would you need somebody with a gun around you all the time, guiding you? Is that the life you want to live? In fact, in fact, and you know the funniest thing, let me go to the religious aspect. You go to church on Sunday, today is Sunday. Many of you went to church. You went to church to pray to who? Even pastors. Even pastors. I'm not talking of government today. I have no problem with government. You are the demons. We are the problem of the state. You are a pastor. You have a private jet. Oh, it's your right to have private jet. You pay tax. Oh, you even when government say pay tax on that thing. Oh, the government have not asked the Muslim to pay. It's Christian that want to pay. You now want to bring me into your stupid fight. My question is, are you helping yourself? What is a pastor doing with a policeman? Boy, God will punish you. What is a pastor doing with a policeman? To guide you to a, who are you guiding you for? Do you pay? Have you paid for the cost of the policeman? You are a pastor, you are now a part of slave trader. The whole congregation will come and they donate money, they put in your wallet. You are swelling, you and your wife, they eat well. The hungry, people are hungry on the street. You are happy. You have conscience. Well, I don't believe in your conscience. My law say, my country say you will pay. If you want a policeman, it costs 2 billion. If you want a driver, it costs 2 million naira to get a driver. If you cannot pay them, I didn't say you must employ them. Leave them, we will leave them. That your company will join yourself. Nigerians, our problem is not only just our leaders. It's just that our leaders are part of the slave trader, like I rightly said. I remember the governor of Delta State, when I asked her, how much be security vote? You, Sheriff, you when they come from village yesterday. Village man yesterday when you be, did they pay you how much security vote? And you are happy. You see all the other slaves now, they run around you, Sheriff, you are happy. You cannot even humble yourself and say, this is not the life I want to live. Hey, I don't need this. I'm going to leave this office in 8 years. I don't need this rubbish. I want to live a decent life. I don't need this stupid policeman. Let's go and walk. What does it cost you? You will be known forever. In fact, God will be blessing you every day. Not to go to church today. Pastor went to church, you went to church and you have slaves. This is why I don't want to go to church sometimes. I went to church today, I went back, came back home. Not because of that anyway, I had my own personal issue. But you know why? It was the same Bible that said we should be loyal to our we should be loyal to our slave master. The same Bible when they read. Now you go read, they still come carry us as slaves. The Quran, now they read, they come, they still take us as slaves. Because you know the first people that took us, they took black people as slaves were the Arabs. Now they first take us as slaves. Deal with it. You see, guys, someone like me, I have nothing to lose. But the first people to take us as slaves, they read the Quran, but they were the one to take us, Arabs. And now the white people that read the Christianity, they carry the sweet Bible, as good as the Bible is. It's the Bible, after reading the Bible, you want to take somebody to come and be your slave. Hey, as if this are not bad enough. Now it's we Nigerians using ourselves as slaves. See the uniform, see the police, see the uniform, see the Nigerian police uniform. See how dirty that man is. You call him a policeman. Hungry don't beat the man. Hey! And somebody is on private jet. Oh. He has nothing is wrong. He worked for it now. I'm not saying it's not your money. That money belongs to Nigeria. It doesn't belong to you. We will tell you how to spend the money in Nigeria. I've not even mentioned those of you that take our money abroad, though, and we borrow the same money and pay interest on our money. That's what somebody told me when I came to Belgium those days. And they claim, and they tell the Igbo guys are smart. We Africans are very smart people. They get the laugh. He said, you are smart. Your leaders will bring your money to Europe. And the whole country will come and borrow the same money and pay interest on our money. Many of those fools I see there. Your own money, you bring it to Europe. Your country will go and borrow the same money. You pay interest on your money. And you say you are a very smart man. You see where the slave trade has meant. You see, when God they punish you, you don't know. You are a very smart person. Nigeria is 63 years old. Look at where we are. All we're going to blame is Tinubu. Or Peter Obi to come and solve the problem. These guys they are victims. Sometimes our leaders are victims. Not that Tinubu has not done his own slave trade. He's a slave trader now on his own right. Tinubu not saying he's a slave trader. How many cars does Tinubu have? How much does he pay as stars? I'm not talking of you as a president, sir. You as a Nigerian citizen. Have you behaved as a Nigerian? Have you shown the country called Nigeria the love it deserves? Oh, the leaders didn't tell you to do it. Now, let's sit down, Nigerians. You know what we'll be demanding from our leaders today? Not good governance, good laws. And after the good laws, nobody should be above the law. Only two things I said, though. If there's rule of law, you break the law, you pay. Everybody will sit up. Then you introduce minimum wage. This is the amount you must pay. If you know you don't pay, you're going to prison. In fact, I don't think what I'm talking about today is rocket science. It's the simplest thing any country I have been to. There's no country that can operate successfully without what I'm saying now. Because the reason I know is I've been in London for some years. Okay? How many drivers you see people get? Maybe you know, I don't. How many people have gate men here? Even the stupid leaders, when they come, they jump on the same train with us. Because you can't, not because you don't want to, but because you cannot afford it. You understand? Those when they make that, they can't afford it. Because the system does not make room for slave trade. Nigerians, let us remove slave trade from our land. Slave trade that is in your interest, like I said, it was the rich people that introduced the welfare package in Europe. It was not the poor. Because they know that when the poor man is hungry, no place to hide though. I'm going to go on a quick break. When I come back, we're going to continue this broadcast and try and end it peacefully. I don't want to make trouble tonight, but here I am. It's supposed to be a day of joy. Nigeria is celebrating independence. But do we really have independence? I'll come back right after this break. Don't go away.
Hooray! The next President Show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The Next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets.
We are 63 years old Nigerians, and I'm going to be joined by the able men. These guys are powerful. They know what they're doing. Nobody is a dollar here. I'm happy Godwin is on the platform. Roland is here, and Samson, we're all here to discuss something. We are 63 years old. I am arguing tonight that my argument is simple tonight, that Nigeria will have enough money. We're not broke. My case is this, that I'm happy Godwin will be the first thing I will call on tonight. And Godwin, I want you to listen to me, sir. In the United Kingdom, nobody have a driver. Not because they don't want to, because they cannot afford it. You know how much you will pay a driver if you take a driver here? In fact, if you get a cleaner, you know how much you pay the cleaner? The policeman in UK, look at how much they pay them. You know what that brings for us? That's my argument. That if Nigeria introduce that fair wages, there will be no slave trade. And that way, the government will have taken money from the rich and settled the poor. You will not need to buy 50 cars, because if you buy 50 cars, who's going to drive them? Because if you have 50 cars as it is in Nigeria now, you have slaves to drive them anyway. There is slave trade in Nigeria. The slave trade that the people, we say the white people came to do, we are now taking each other as slaves. Only in Nigeria, you see somebody in Africa can open a gate. He says job now to open gate. Because you pay him 15,000 naira. Can you imagine? Nobody, you cannot employ somebody as a gate man here. In fact, no British policeman guide anybody. God did not born you well. But that's what we see in Nigeria. That's one of my cases. And number two, I argue there's no rule of law. Nobody should be above the law. You break the law in Nigeria, you say, if we do that, no president, we don't need a president, Nigeria will fix itself. That is my argument tonight. I want you to come in, Godwin. Over to you, sir. Let's go. Sir Godwin. I don't know what is independence. Definitely not.
I go base AC dependency, or as I was pseudo independence, was celebrated. A warrior, what the war, what the telecommunication the world. The foreigners see and even the transportation the way the foreigners see the currency way
they don't print money in Nigeria.
They want celebrity.
I don't know about them.
The question people don't know. What celebrity poverty?
That's it.
What celebrating corruption?
You know, with this, I celebrating slave trade. Godwin, we are celebrating slave trade, our own. We black people, we are very wicked people. This is the first time I say we're wicked because we are slave traders.
You said the boy you do job. My boy has a well.
When the sheriff order Diana, sheriff no say, the mom give me card by when he's well. Let me go and let me be a different governor.
Unless the guy did you go in.
Somebody go and rob.
Insecurity error.
God, how can there be security? How can there be security? The policemen that's supposed to guide us are guiding some fools. We see this country, we have enough money. We have enough money.
Until I didn't be so bad, I did 2 on Taco Mara. We have what I celebrate. Good.
Thank you so much. Okay, Marco, I know your passion. I know your passion. Yeah.
I didn't quite right.
Oh yeah.
Nigeria. Nigeria,
Abi.
So the Guru go for year, will go for your mom.
I agree with you.
I think minister also they are not public no total he take us your quote offer. Yeah, the president who in
it's not in the plan. It's not in the plan. No, it's not in the plan. Look at it. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to come in. Godwin, Roland, I'm with you. I'm going to engage you seriously on this matter. Seriously, Roland. Roland, are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Roland, this is a serious matter. I am arguing tonight that the problem, now Nigeria have enough money, that the problem of Nigerian state is not money. The problem is the way the money is being distributed. For instance, the people are working like slaves. You see, in Nigeria, it's only in Nigeria you pay people that kind of money. And where some people earn so much, look at the governor. Security vote is 2.something billion, and you couldn't pay somebody 30,000 naira. In fact, is that not an insult? The Bible said we are all born equal, so we are treating each other as slaves. The same way they took us as slaves, now we are treating each other as slaves. That's one of my arguments. Because you see people in Nigeria having private jets, employing people as gate men and paying them stupid amount of money. Government is sleeping. Of course, the government is the biggest slave trader because they're the one that even started it. paying people 18,000, not 30,000. I leave it with you, Roland.
And it's not of them being work.
You will blend this according. We went to Roland.
It's a very serious issue. It's a very serious subject.
Yes, it is.
The problem is a complex one. It's a very complex problem. I don't know why. I don't know. Probably it has to do with the primitivity of humanity.
But Roland, you see my case, eh? The people that introduced us, the people that taught us what is democracy, the people that teach us what is the modern civilization, they don't practice it here. In this country, Roland, the minimum wage is no joke. I go quick to prison if I employ somebody and pay him below the minimum wage.
Yeah, that's where I am come.
Okay.
So the closer you have to the primitive or the animalistic level, the more you are framed mentally to want to enslave, fellow humans like you.
Sadly.
That's one observation I have seen. Because this subject you brought out, just a few weeks back, I had these discussions with some people. It's as if you were speaking my mind.
Okay.
And the reference I gave, I was in a gathering. The people, I observed some of the ladies, the way they do their nails these days. So I was curious to ask them that, come, this is not nails self. I think they use until they cook with you.
I don't know.
So the nails are so long, like, what our local place would say witchcraft.
Yes.
So I think they use until they cook it.
Yes.
And the person responded to me that he does not cook, and he does not need to cook.
Okay.
He has cook that hired.
Can you imagine?
That cook for her.
Can you imagine, Godwin?
So I was really set back, and I looked at the person.
Good.
I said, "You are in Nigeria, that's why you could just talk this way.
Thank you, Lord.
You don't pay the people.
Thank you.
You are enslaving the people.
That's it.
You give people 30,000 naira, you say you pay their salary to all people. If you are in a society where you, as an engineer, you earn almost equal with a cook. Can you employ a cook to cook for you?
No, God bless you, Godwin. God will bless you, Roland. God will bless you. This is exactly my case. God will bless you. Who am I to think of having a cook in England?
What you rightly said. Let's put this thing in the right perspective. So it does not start from that girl.
No.
That expressed such ignorance.
No.
It starts even right from the government.
Exactly.
Why would the government always 35,000? 35,000 is for 1 day.
Thank you.
They themselves, are they giving with 35,000?
The answer is no. Are these people not actually slaves? The person you pay 70,000 naira in Nigeria today, is that person not a slave? A policeman, you see, Roland, you see what's so painful? A policeman that wears the uniform of Nigeria, you pay him 45,000. A policeman. Imagine, since I've been in the UK, a British police will not guide any bagger. A British, who are you to see? And see, so when my problem, you see, Roland, this is a big issue. You see, sometimes we blame our problem on the leaders. Yes, they are part of it, but the truth is, I will not be president of Nigeria as it is because I will not succeed. Where are you going to start from? Where you gonna, because if Rolando, if people are paying the normal money, you find out that you will not need to have 10 cars. Because okay, if you buy 10 cars, who's going to drive them? If a driver costs you 2 million naira to drive to pay his salary in a month, okay, you're not going to get more than one driver now, or you don't need more than those cars. So the government have a way. You know some of the mansions in Nigeria, nobody lives there. Most of these mansions, go to Festac, nobody is there. Abandoned. Because the man cannot go.
That's KRIS.
Yes.
That's KRIS.
Yes.
If you go to Ikoyi, if you go to VI,
yes,
then even most part of Lekki, these are empty apartments. And you say people are looking for where to stay in Nigeria. That is the reality you have found yourself.
See?
So humans, they want to create class. They want to create class, make some people slave. And they want to be king.
That's the slave I'm talking about.
So wealth has been, wealth has been unevenly distributed in our society. That is what is making the society not healthy for everybody. It's increasing crime. It's increasing all kinds of social devices.
Roland,
because
where on earth do you see people with personal helicopter flight? Today now, to have a car is not a people have private jets. Even stupid musicians, children of yesterday, they are not buying private jets in numbers. To do what? Can you imagine? To do what?
So let's look at even now the private sector. The private sector has not helped.
I'm not even holding the government. It's every one of us. I said
so let me tell you about the private sector now.
Okay, good.
So I was discussing with somebody recently. The person is a banker. And I told the person that the minimum wage in my company is what we pay the cleaner. It's 75,000. That's the minimum wage in my company. It's 75,000. That's what we pay the cleaner.
Good.
The person said that's very high. So because the bank where she works pays I think 40,000 naira, I think 35,000 naira.
The bank.
But come to think about it, this is the same bank that will disclose billions of naira as profit in a year.
God bless you.
Paying somebody 40,000. Does it make sense?
No.
Does it make sense?
No. It doesn't. It doesn't.
So the person was telling me, you know what the person was telling me? He said even some cashiers do not earn some 5,000 naira. I said I pay our cleaners.
But you may think it's a joke, but what he said is the truth.
Yes, that's what the person said. But these are what I think they are not just misnormal in the society. They are evil. These are evil.
God bless you. God bless you.
If you sit down, let's put it this way. If you sit down yourself and calculate yourself, even the transportation to go to that place to work in Lagos is more than 40,000 you are paying the person. So why would you pay the person?
See?
So these are evil. These are not. So when we are celebrating independence, these are the kind of discussions to have. Because you cannot be celebrating independence as when you're still practicing ism of this kind of inequality.
In fact, so all
you pay people salaries.
Yes. The language is slave trade. We still slave traders. You know what's so shameful, Roland? The white people, when they came, I said to it just on the show, if you were listening, that they were reading the Bible. Actually, the first people to took us, they take Africans as slaves were the Arabs. They were reading the Quran. Yeah, they came, they used the Quran. I don't know whether they used the Quran. They carried us as slaves. And now, the white people, British and all of them, they use the same Bible to take us as slaves. We went to church today. And you see today, pastors, even men of God, have private jets. And I reason why I cannot tell you, it doesn't add up.
So, Pastor KRIS, having your private jet is not even the problem. But having private jet and you don't pay people who work for you well, I see it as a misnomer.
That's it. For God,
Because
you see, the truth is, if you're paying the right due to society, if you're paying the right due to society,
it's not to abuse.
We'll not be broke.
It's not to abuse. It's not to abuse Bishop Oyedepo. I visited his school one time ago, and somebody helped me in directing me. He was working as a security there, so I gave the person my card. Then the person kept on calling me that if there's any job he want to do. I said, so how much do they pay? He said 25,000 naira. And he has multiple private jets, and he said God has blessed him.
No, wait, do you know how much they pay? Wait, you see where I say government is failing us? Do you know how much the school fees in that place? Do you know how much they pay as school fees?
He pays people 25,000 naira as salary. That's some years ago. I should think he has been increasing, but these are not living wage paid to people. They have to look at this. What they need to do is to reduce maximum wage and increase minimum wage. That's what the government needs to do. Yeah.
You see my case, because, and you see Roland there. You see, I have no problem. You can have 50 cars. The white government would say, okay, if you have 50 cars, no problem. I don't know how to stop you from buying 50 cars, but you know what? The workers, you will pay my people decent salary, 1 million. Oh, you don't employ
yes.
You see, you cannot enslave a Nigerian. This is the language I keep saying. You cannot. You see, when I talk to labor here, labor movement, they are annoying me. They don't even understand this. They keep saying, oh, they want to talk about palliative. Rubbish palliative. Oh, they should remove subsidy. No. The truth is, they should be, in fact, I can, in this country now, if you pay policeman well, you find the man will go and do a decent job and come back home. He doesn't want to lose that job. And that man, only one policeman will make a lot of difference. In England, for instance, a policeman earns £2,500. So can you go and say, you should come and guide me? How much am I paid? That is now a policeman will come and guide me. But if I'm in Nigeria, I can pay a policeman. Just give him 20,000 and I will follow you throughout. Can you imagine the mentality? We have slaves. Somebody opening a gate for you, his job is to open gates. You know that man is a slave. Because you cannot pay a human being to open just gate. You know it's not a job. Who are you? Why are you not opening your own gate for yourself? Sometimes when I was in Nigeria, I want to enter a car. Somebody want to open the car for me. I say, are you mad? I just ask him, are you mad? I can open the car for myself. They don't understand. Even when I'm at home here, they want to give me food. I go and take my food myself. Unless I say too much, give me my food. Don't serve me. I'm not a person to be. It doesn't make sense. May God help Nigeria. So the problem of Nigeria is not the leaders. Roland, I asked one question. I'm going to ask it before you leave me now. I asked the big question of today, which is the question. Do you sincerely think, Roland, that God, Jonathan knew what to do? Goodluck Jonathan knew what to do and he didn't want to save Nigeria. Do you think Buhari knew what to do and he didn't want to save Nigeria? Do you think Tinubu knew what to do? All these guys, they simply don't have what it takes to save the country. Because it's one thing to be wicked. Are you saying that all our leaders are wicked or they simply are ignorant? Or the job is too heavy?
Hello, Daddy Chris, can I call you?
I wanted him to wait. Well, you can call me. Definitely you're going to call me because I'm coming to you now. Are you still there, Roland? Or something can wait? Yeah,
I'm with you. So it's a complex situation. Most of our leaders, they've not also demonstrated the capacity to lead. Some few ones have demonstrated such capacity, even though the problems are very complex and challenging. But some of them, they've not also demonstrated capacity.
Agree.
Then the few ones who have demonstrated the capacity, leadership itself is not in isolation. It works with followership.
True.
So if you take example with Obasanjo, in his administration, he articulated a lot of brilliant ideas and policies that had the potential to transform the Nigerian economy, which includes the deregulation of the midstream and downstream sector, which after 24 years now we are still talking about. But people like Oshimole and the Labour were there just fighting political fights and all that,
political fight.
and not fight that are really geared towards the interest of the nation or the interest of people. Some of the fights were driven out of ignorance and selfishness. So he was not able to achieve some of the things he wanted to achieve because then he demonstrated some capacity to
definitely. Obasanjo was a leader, especially in the second tenure. That man was a leader. But the question is, you see, that's why I said it's something we really need to sit down and say. And you know why I asked that question tonight? Because Nigeria need to ask if we are giving our leaders enough room to succeed. Because if we encourage them, then maybe they can fight. You see why I said to something? I said it's time to leave Sheriff alone. Why? Because if Sheriff is going to save us, he has a lot of people fighting him. If he misbehaves, they'll put the plug on him. So if he know he has our support, then he can work for us. So they need to, because they always go there without the legitimacy of, without having the support of the people. So when they get there now, they're looking for support. Or they try to fight to get the support first. See, if I am voted into a power, into an office, I don't need to look for it. I'm going to work for the people from day one. But people like the sheriff now, they first to save their ass first because they know how they got there. And so it's a very big, it's a disaster. So Samson, let's hear from you, son. Let's hear from you. How is France? I hope you guys are doing well.
You're fine, sir.
Good.
Let's go, sir.
Good. Very nice. Nice.
Yeah. The leaders that we have been having in Nigeria since I was growing up. It's only the time of Shehu Shagari and Abu Sali that we have leaders.
Really?
All the rest that we have been having are not leaders. All of them are self-that personal interest for their generation to acquire what they have paid for them. Nigerians in question does not have a leader. We have dictatorship. People who just pick their friends and put them in power, then they become a leader. Nigeria has not grown to have a leader. We lost it since we have our independence, and we don't have independence. Because independence is freedom. Our people are still slaves, we are still under our own country. Inside our country, we are still people who sit there in power. So we should say we have it from the time right. Northern and say there is no need of celebrating independence. That is why you see the Lagos state government cancel our independence day they celebrate in the stadium. They cancel this with shame because they have nothing to offer. We don't have government. If we talk of Sheriff have nothing to offer. We said it before he became governor of Delta State. Going for streets, pursuing people who put on clothes, saying you are pursuing prostitution, you want to do prostitution, you do great job for
That's
them.
a new dimension, though. I heard about it. We're going to discuss that another day. He said one of the agenda of Sheriff is to pursue girls who are do dressing decently. I don't know what that means.
That is the best way. If you don't get an agenda of opening a company for the debt to be working so that people that will part of the country that will benefit them, he's fighting to drive them from the streets there, really scared, putting on brush, not short after that. You see, we don't have leaders. We have people who just want to see.
But what you say now, is it true, my people? I know people should respond to this. Is it true that Sheriff government doesn't have job to do? Now it's pursuing people who do dress the way they want. Who people are free to dress. Is that true? Is that true, okay, Sheriff?
Yes,
I am really tired of this rubbish. So you don't have job. Or it's only, I know it's wrong to dress in an indecent way, but is that the job of government? Did they do anything bad? It's their right to dress how they want.
You see countries then, their artwork, their fashion design, they do it in their own tradition and start selling it around the world. Instead of Sheriff to sit down and think of what to do to the youth, they establish since the white people refuse to come to Delta State with their oil companies. You see now even the president of America counted Delta State as one of the states that citizens should not visit.
Really?
If people do not visit or come to your state, how can a business or infrastructure come into your country? So if you're fighting the spirit first, a fighting gets addressed wrong, then we say we have government. We don't have government. We have animals as president and government. They should hear they are all animals because they don't reason. They come to Europe. They see the difference of Europe. They see things that happen in Europe. They cannot go back there and implement it to make Nigeria a great country when we have all the mineral resources. We have some bigs as governors and presidents and ministers and senators in Nigeria. They should wake up. They should go and listen to this voice and think back. If they die, they are going to 6 feet. They will not go with all those properties. Their children will suffer bad name. Generation to generation will be stamped in negative name that their father was once a president who destroyed the country, no matter the works they kept for them. So we don't have presidency in Nigeria. We have animals as governors and presidents in Nigeria because they don't teach, their brain doesn't function. With all the exposure, the education that we have in Nigeria, we still not know what to do. And those people who are even working under them, those ministries of agriculture, ministry of health, ministry of this, all of them too, they don't know what to do. They are just follow. Anywhere they send them go, that is what they do. They follow them to every direction they give to them.
Now,
They just go around.
this guy made a very big statement here. He said, happy and independence anniversary celebration from our colonial master. He said, Nigeria need to be independent from our political hustlers. I like that. Because we've broken away from the yoke of the colonial masters. Now we need to break away from these hustlers. In fact, these hustlers, they don't even know what they're doing. That's my pain. If they know what they're doing, I won't be mad.
We have some bees as leaders.
They don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Because I will not be president of a country where you pay people that amount of money, where some people earn that amount. It's not going to happen. Because in fact, I will be pushing it. I will come back to Nigerians. I will sell it to Nigerians. I will tell the rich that there is need for this to happen so that we all can go to bed and sleep at night. It is a simple thing.
Daddy Chris,
Yes.
do you know that the Nigerians are even the ones putting themselves into that mess? Because they respect them and they will see them in the streets, respect them, hate them. Instead of hold them strong and ask them to prove what they have done with their money. Those who see them in the streets, they kill them. Those who sit planting the farm, foul, they kill them. They could not see those useless things that they have to fight them and destroy them.
The funniest
Next revolution come to Nigeria, revolution. All leaders should be put down.
If Rufus is here, Rufus will jump on the revolution language. Rufus, are you there? Your brother is calling for revolution. I know the two of you, when it comes to this revolution,
Daddy Chris,
I am with you. I'm here, so I'm here.
Daddy Chris, oti Nigeria na ufota na Nigeria. Imeda tota na kelike the economy escalate. Nigeria cannot good. Nigeria se Kenya ma o neru Ike ovuta kpona, ike one bota kpona. In Nigeria, ma usual bota kpona. In Nigeria, is just too blessed to suffer. Later to time, I will be like, say, what is this boy they talk? Daddy Chris, how many years you just spend for UK? Many of our brothers and sisters were in the UK. Not be saying they don't like call Nigeria, but what did they work on do? They better die for where they did that to come back. If where you did, if where you did not go there, you will not come back since. So don't not deceive ourselves. Imagine this country one a day. So you know, say now war country a day. So country one day inside war. Now we take this. So we are even living well than where we are coming from. Country where war day. We not so we did this country and they go day. But people say even Nigeria say when they would the entire now they even many pass Nigeria when they come out. So tell me. Tell me. You see, that we don't talk about in Nigeria, not be just revolution, Nigeria carry Iran. Believe me, this thing when they talk to you might take it for a joke because sometimes when they preach peace, peace is actually surviving Nigeria. Not deceive yourself. I went to research for those Westerners, how they get freedom, how they have better life today. They fought and share blood for it. The UK, why are you talking about the UK? Or you are talking about Greece? Or you are talking about the Romans? Or you are talking about the American? Am I lying? If Nigeria don't go through the same process, bro, forget, we are going nowhere. Fela talk and Fela very. If a land suffering and smiling, nobody want that. Nobody want that. Till tomorrow, now so the generator. In the next 30 years, Nigeria not feel good. I think they will do you. Now the same system now, but what they want. Sure.
But the problem, see, tonight, and I really want to come back to Roland before we end the show. I am arguing that we have money. You see, when they say Nigeria don't have money, I don't agree. Even as we speak, do you know only 3 Nigerians can clear Nigeria debt? The money is in the hands of very few people. Either they carry it to build houses.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
You make what Otago. Even Eddie Nigeria one, Eddie we big chote, Eddie I make Tunubu chote, I make Buri chote, all the politicians, all the money when they don't see, make the whole lot, we don't need them. Even of both the Nigeria debt, when they the debt when Nigeria they go today, if they say make the whole lot say, we repay fresh debt, and Nigeria has only one region resources to pay the debt. No, we have many resources untapped. We have resources that can even sustain us for not in the next 500. You don't understand this thing. The people not to time. I beg.
No.
Sure.
I'm with you, sir.
All those states, maybe do you know that small Oshu state, small state where they see so the gold ones, the one the Oshu state can survive the whole of Africa. I'm telling you, Oshu state, as small as Oshu state. Just one small ever in Oshu State can survive the whole federation. You never talk about Ondo. Ondo has big men. Many untapped resources. I mean, won't talk about the steel that you have in Agebuka. I beg to that. Ondo, when the resources in Vietnam, I had to go here. What will they also
okay, so I hear you. I understand the frustration. And I agree. You see, sometimes, like I said, and I really want to, Roland, I want to hear your voice before we close this matter. Are you people agree with me that we have money? Because a country like Nigeria, where we have all these billionaires, in fact, these guys, they go abroad, they have houses. If last time I saw Keyamu in his company in America, you understand? All of them, the former governor of Anambra, you see him walking his dog in the US. These are money they took from home. And we're not even talking about that, but even the ones at home.
That increase.
Yeah,
in terms of the resources we have, and in terms of the potential for greatness, we also have. But currently, we are not, a wealthy nation. Because we've not been able to harness these resources for greatness. So some of the references you have given, these are individual wealth, and they are not really very mighty assets also.
I agree.
And the states you have made reference to, the states now, they are not in a position to maximize their wealth potential. So their budget, for instance, shows that we are in a poor country, because if Delta State, for instance, budget, let's say $500 billion naira, which is 500 billion naira in a year for like 10 billion people. So you know what it means in dollar.
Yes.
What has been budgeted for 10 million people is a very small amount of money.
Yes.
And that money itself is not sufficient for development. Then when politicians now steal part of it, some take 1 billion out of the 500 billion, some now take 1 billion come out.
1 billion,
so the man that took 1 billion,
10 billion, 15 billion.
So the man that took 1 billion or 10 billion is a lot of money he has taken for himself.
Yes.
But if that money also is expended for 10 billion people, it's a small money. So that is the context which we need to look at it.
But don't you think? But there are people in Delta State that have enough money. You understand? How do we work with them?
We should not be excited about that too much, because most people we think have money do not have money. Because it is one thing to have assets and capital assets. Then it's another thing to have liquidity. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not sure that in Delta State today, there are people that have, $100 million seated in their bank account you can have access to. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they might not.
And then almost everybody now, the businessmen, you think they have money, they rely on bank liquidity to fund some of their investments. So most of them are shackled with debt that you're not seeing them through, but they are not, most of them, they drive big cars, you think they are big, but they are not as big as we thought. And this is the reason why the politics has also become very dirty and messy. The reason is some of the people you think they are big men, they are poorer than you, but you don't know.
It's true.
Because the debt some of them owe banks and also the kind of conditions which their businesses have.
Yeah.
They have to be in the politics, they have to be in government to survive. They cannot be in the street like you. They will not survive 2 months. They will die. Most of them, you think they are big men, they will die. So if they do not have like a straw to the government purse
Yes.
to continue to suck the one that comes to their corner to buy big cars and feel big so that people will respect them, so that they will continue to have access to government funds, they will be in trouble. So we may not be in that position yet to be as big as sometimes we thought. Some people are in a very bad shape, but we see them as big men and big women. So to be big as a country, what we need to do is not fall back to what we have been talking about, Commonwealth.
Yes.
So that will take us to developing family wealth structure, communal wealth structure, state government or local government wealth structure, then national wealth structure. So when the country is not in a position, for instance, that you structure the country in a way that the state government is not productive enough to be generating resources, in billions of dollars monthly, then we will be in that right position of wealth. But now what we have is we are not in that right position of wealth. The few resources we have, the stronger men in the society, they have to collect chunk of it for them to also retain their position of strength and their survival position as well as strong people in the society. That is itself poverty mentality on its own. Yeah.
Session. Anyway, Roland, always pleasure to have you, and well, it's happy Independence Day. We are here where we are. We pray that Nigerians they should know something tonight, that if we try to remove slave trade, should be removed from our society. As 63 is a big message. We don't need to have slaves. We don't need to have slave traders. Those of you, if you know the government, you are a slave trader, try and stop it. And let the ordinary Nigerians treat us, dignity of labor. Let it be one thing that is important to every single one of us. It's the only way we can avoid crime. It's the only way there can be an element of peace. All these things now, there will be no way you put people who cannot feed themselves on the street, or you give them gun.
Daddy KRIS.
Yeah.
What I've already recently, so me employ almost of one in our cleaning tech. So she's a cleaner. But me one in it to tie, I'm how or
Okay.
So you worry, go on in it to tie. Give me understanding or he will tailoring very.
Okay.
Or you need about very. So what I did was to now register her in where she does training on Ofo Street.
Okay.
currently. So the upholstery, automobile upholstery are those who make the seat of chairs, of cars.
Yes, exactly.
And the one that make the seat of cars. So she's on the training now, even as she does some few days in Spermat in a cleaning job, then she does other days in the training. So what we are trying to do now, we're doing a transition for her so that she can move from the cleaning job she's doing to a more technical job.
Yes.
And continue her career that way.
Wonderful.
I think the society needs a lot of training, mentorship, and leadership.
Training and retraining. God will bless you. It's about government, it's about training and retraining. Yes. So training and retraining.
These are some of the things These are some of the things we will have to do to move the society forward.
But then before we leave, I heard this strange news that our governor is pursuing young girls who dress indecently on the streets of Warri and all that. What is that story all about? Is that not strange?
I heard that, but I think that is a misplaced society, a misplaced priority. Most of those girls you see indulging in prostitution, majority of them do not want to live such lives. We should all know that most of them are living such life because of the society that failed them.
That's true.
The community failed them.
Look at what you do with this girl now. I can tell you that kind of girl will never go into prostitution.
Yes. Why some of them, their family failed them? So let me give you another story, which you have also, I think you had an encounter with that lady.
Okay.
So I was in Port Harcourt, I met someone on a whole robo, on a finish Uniport, on a Gogo Oka Road, on a study English language. They say, okay, what are you with flair, technical work?
Yes.
What's our school man that we electrical electronics?
Yes.
Well, they had almost at nine. On the oil, River State.
Yeah.
Also in the Urubore. And if probably on the north side of Nigeria, or where one of my Urubore.
Yes.
She used to have this misconception about the robots.
Yes.
Based on probably stories she must have been told by her mom and all that.
That's what mothers do.
We're not able to go, or we're not identify people to go. But all play one point about horrible. They also are retraining her. Current training her actually, already for my 2 years of training her. But then the last time, Angola, the Angomia, the normal IT, we come down in the Angola after the training.
See?
So today she's finished her training, she's progressing with her career. She's so happy with what she does today as an ROV pilot. Then most remarkably, what I have to say here, the love she now has for Urobo because of her encounter with me,
yes,
it's tremendous now. Instead of telling me good morning, good afternoon, she now greets me properly in Urobo language.
See?
And she's now making effort to identify back with her people and also to even speak Urobo just because of the influence of someone. That's why we all need to have positive ambassadors of where we are from. So why do I need to go through all this? You see all those ladies, instead of visiting them, if you organize it to empower them, most of them will stop all those things they are doing.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
Because they are empowered by training, by education, they are now able to get job and make the money they are looking for, so to take care of their basic needs. They will not be in the streets, half naked and all that. They will have respect for themselves.
True.
They will have dignity, human dignity. So instead of praising them and spending all those billions in extra codes among yourself politicians, and finally you people will still be the same people to go and patronize them.
They won't patronize them.
Organize scheme to empower these ladies, and most of them will leave the streets. That's what I think about that. If that's simple things to tell.
God will bless you. God will bless you. Because an average British girl we follow you not because of your money, because she likes you. So you're not going to follow because, you know why? Because she's earning her money. And when women are empowered, that's why in the UK, when you misbehave with your wife, she'll send you out of the house because she can make a decision because she's no more a slave. You know, she can make her own money. And these are simple things. When we say society should move on, you women, you need to listen to some of the things we're talking about. Roland, God will bless you. And you see, these are little things. That one will make a difference now. She will go and tell other people and tell others and tell others, and that is how people will know that we are good people. God will bless you for that you did. God will continue to bless you. God will bless you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is what I call the Independence Day broadcast. It's not a pleasant one. It's not a very happy one because Nigeria is not happy. Nigeria is not smiling. We are not smiling as a people. With all the potentials, we shouldn't be where we are. I made the argument that Nigerians will have enough money because some people are on private jet, some are earning nothing. If government can make a simple law that bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, we're all at peace. And most importantly, nobody should be above the law. It is unacceptable that a Nigerian policeman is guiding you. His job is to guide the society, not you. In fact, if Tinubu want to claim, or if anybody want to claim that he's working for Nigeria, he should make Nigerian police take him from all these people, let them walk on the street for us. That's what we see here in the UK. Policemen don't guide politicians. They guide the society. That is what I have to say. And I hope that the gap between the rich and the poor will be a priority. Even those of you in the labor movement, I respect what you do, but you are not putting your priorities right. Your job is to make sure the right laws are put in place, that the government checkmates. This labor now, when I was talking to somebody, they say you only talk about government workers. What about the private sectors? In fact, nobody can run Nigeria as it is. We need to sit down. We need to plan. We need to look at the structure of the Nigerian state and make it well. Like I asked a question. Roland said it right. Obasanjo wanted to do the right thing. He couldn't. Yar'Adua wanted to. He couldn't. Goodluck wanted. There was some mistake. I'm not saying they're perfect. They couldn't. Look at Buhari. Buhari was more like a saint. The man is weak, yeah. Not intelligent, maybe, but the man, he means well. You understand? And so, look at this Baba now. Baba may not even, Baba want to make name for himself. But, you know, he's struggling on that job. He's struggling. He's struggling. That brings the question I asked. Are these people wicked or they don't know what they're doing? It's none of the above. The job is a hard job. Perhaps we all need to come down and give them the right country to run. To give them the right country to run, we need the right laws. Nobody should be above the law, and the gap between the rich and the poor should be marginalized. Bridge it through effective taxation or introduction of a very decent minimum wage. So nobody will have some buildings abandoned in the Ikoyi, or even if you saw those mansions in the Ikoyi, if you see people living there, they're not up to 4. It's one family and this thing. So the place is too big for them. And I'm sure they'll be fighting every day there, because when you live alone with that big compound, with your wife and only one wife and this, you'll be bored. Please, Nigerians, let us be our brother's keeper. I'm going to end the show there tonight. My name is KRIS, and tonight, I try to do some justice into the structure of the Nigerian state. Stay out of trouble. And please, together, Nigeria can be great. Nigeria is not broke. We have enough money. If we come together, any amount of money we're looking for is with us. You see the greed of man. You have this, you have this, you have this, you have this. But if we put it together, we'll solve our problem. Let's not leave the government alone. Not that they are talking to us, but let's come together. Even if you cannot work with the government, come with your community, do something great. Build wealth, create wealth around, so that Nigeria can grow. The days of slave trade is over. Let us not bring slave trade into the 21st century. We are 63 years old. That's the message of today. No to slave trade. Good night and stay blessed.
There are many sides to a story. Is there anything like good or bad? Do we have advantages or disadvantages? Is there a right or wrong? This is Crossfire.